Couture, everybody, Coach Rap here, and a happy Saturday to you. So I've just finished my core stability class, which today we did lots of planks, knee crunches, push-ups, all on unstable surface, so got a good workout overall. Now this will be one of the extended versions. It's technically Getting Lean part 17, I think, maybe. I'll need to double check. But I will put it onto YouTube and Facebook. Previously, I was just posting it to Facebook, and then I realised I could just put it to YouTube as well. So if you don't have Facebook, you can watch the extended one on YouTube too. So you'll be as well jumping across in a moment. In this lesson or episode, I'm going to talk about navigating special occasions while trying to stay on a diet, and I'll give you an update on how I'd approach this. So if you're on Instagram right now, jump to either Facebook or YouTube and watch it there. So Getting Lean, I think this is part 17, maybe it's 16, I need to double check. But basically, my goal is obviously getting in shape for a particular photo that I'm going to try and go for. This last week being my birthday month, we've had a few birthday celebrations. It's quite hard to navigate weeks when you've got birthday meals out, there's cake around, there's people getting you cake, which is then rude not to, especially when you're in a health and wellness goal. So I'm going to give you some of my top tips for navigating that sort of thing. I didn't manage to break through the next stone barrier. I was a whisker away. I'm not too fussed about it because next week is a fresh week, and I'm like, right, everything still went well. I nearly broke through it, but not quite. So everything's still going well. So the main tip or main bit of advice I'd give, so if you've got, when I talk about celebratory times, whether it's Christmas, birthdays, maybe you've got other people's birthdays, because sometimes people get lots of nights out all at once. It's everybody's 40th or everybody's 50th, and they're having celebrations, and you've got dinners out, drinks out, and all these sorts of things. And it can be quite challenging when you're trying to stay on plan, but you want to be social at the same time. You don't want to stick out like a sore thumb, like say, well, I can't have this, I'm on a diet and X, Y, and Z. So it all comes down to how, if you're the time restraint you have on your goal. Now, I would consider myself ahead of schedule. So when it came to these celebrations, I thought, you know, I like to have a balance of health and happiness. And I want to be able to enjoy things. I want to be able to enjoy birthday nights out and have a drink here or a beer there or a bit of cake there. And I don't want to feel guilty, because life shouldn't be about making yourself feel guilty. Life should be about living healthy habits to enjoy and be fit for the life that you lead. So with that being said, I like to also make sure that my goals are quite important. So what I do in weeks like this, because I've had slices of cake, there's been lots of bits and pieces, is that you factor it into your plan. Because one of the biggest problems you can ever have when you're on any sort of health and wellness journey is that you feel like you've betrayed yourself or betrayed your goal. And what I mean by that is that we've got this perception that everything has to be perfect. It's like, right, it has to be perfect, right? From day one, there can't be any sweets, no cake, no beers, no this, no that. And you're only human, and there'll get a point when something will sneak in. Someone will offer you something small, like a small bit of chocolate, and you'll cave, and deep down you'll be thinking, oh, where's my integrity, where's my willpower, and your motivation will drop, and then you're like, oh, I'll start again tomorrow, or start again, and you do all these sorts of things. And then we're our own worst critic when it comes to our health and wellness, because we're really hard on ourselves. You know, you wouldn't treat someone else that way, but we treat ourselves that way when we're like, you know, oh, for goodness sake, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that, and all this. But if you make things part of the plan, if you know that you're going out for dinner on the Tuesday night, then you say, right, well, if I'm going out at night, I'm going to make sure I'm really good through the day. I'm going to get my workout in, get whatever cardio I'm in. If I'm fasting, or get my hydration, get my protein, you're going to get it all in so that when it comes to the evening, you can switch off. You can go guilt-free and have whatever it is you want, because it's part of the plan. And that's the key thing. And then you might look, like you say, well, if I'm going out for dinner on the Tuesday night, what can I do on the Wednesday that can, you know, help mitigate some of the damage? Okay, right, well, the next day I'm going to go out for a big walk, or I'm going to make sure that maybe the next day is one of my low carb days, or maybe I get an extra cardio, an extra workout in, or I'm just going to be really, really good the next day, whatever it may be. But it's about factoring it into the plan. And even if you've got multiple things, if you're good in between when you say you're going to be good, and you relax when you say you're going to relax, then your motivation, your integrity, your willpower remains intact, because you're like, great, I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I was going to be good through the day and then relax at night. Or I was going to do this then, and I'm going to get back on it then. And if you do the things that you say you're going to do, you will still be on track. Now, when I went out for dinner on the Tuesday night, I had whatever I wanted. And interesting enough, the scales didn't really feel the impact the next day at all. It wasn't that bad. And the next day, I was like, right, I want to get a good sweat session on and try and mitigate some of the damage. And it's not about making up for workouts or trying to burn off the calories you consume. It's not about that. It's about mentally telling yourself, I'm trying to just do what I can on the times that I have, because I know I've got a lot of things in between. So this weekend, for example, we're going away. So it's like, right, well, I know that when I'm away, I want to just relax, because I don't want this journey to be something that I'm just obsessing about and like have to be super strict, because that's no fun. And it doesn't build a healthy mindset. That what will happen is, if I did it that way, I'd get to go, do my thing, and then just flop off the other side and just lose interest. Whereas I want to be nailing down solid habits so that I get to go and maintain it go and enjoy a summer of looking and feeling good, and not having to work too hard to maintain it. Because if the habits are in place, it takes less thought power, because you just do a lot of these things habitually without thinking, and you maintain everything you've gained. And if you wanted to go on and gain even more or get extra wins, you can do it, because it gives you a good staging platform. So that would be my top tip for navigating weeks that are filled with celebrations, or maybe even like families popped over. Maybe you haven't seen family for a while and you know they're coming over on the Saturday, for example, and you know they're going to bring cake and they'll expect coffee and cake, and you're like, oh, but I'm on a plan. But if you just say to yourself, no, I'm going to be social, I'm going to relax because I haven't seen this family for a while and I miss them. So it's like, right, well, I'm going to enjoy a nice cake with them and have coffee. But what I'm going to do up to that, to earn that, and what I do afterwards as well, is a way to mitigate it. And then afterwards, you'll feel really good. You saw family, you did whatever you needed to do. And then when you step on the scales, you surprise yourself. Quite a lot of my clients are actually Pisceans as well, strangely. And they've had similar things. You know, they take their birthday off, they enjoy some cake, they do whatever they want, they step on the scales the next day or the day after, and they're like, wow, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And that's usually because the habits that you've put in place up to this point are making you live a particular lifestyle that's delivering the result. Now, the odd bit of cake here and there is not going to completely sabotage it. Now, with that being said, there is rugby on this weekend. Now, if you were then going out to rugby and tanking a bunch of beers and eating pizzas and takeaways, the impact on the scale would be different. But equally, if that was part of your plan, then you'd factor around it. You would say, you know what, I'm going to be good all week. And then whatever you do at the weekend, if you're going out with your buddies or whatever, and then you'd say, right, but as then from the Sunday or the Monday, I'm going to get back on plan, I'm going to do this, do that. And then you just make sure you put it in the rear view mirror, because you don't want to be hanging on to these sorts of things. You don't want to be saying to yourself, oh, I broke my diet, or I did this, or I shouldn't have done that, or the scales have adjusted, or I'm playing catch up. Because that's the other thing, is that when people have days off or weekends off, they feel like they're playing catch up. And the reality is you'll never catch up, because you miss one workout. If you try and play catch up, you'll fall behind, and it's a hiding to nothing. So you're better to just write off that week and just say, in that week I got less workouts in, or in that week I ate more carbs, or in that week I had more, whatever. And you just chalk it down to, that was the week and it was part of the plan. And what is this week going to entail, and how can you make the most out of each week that comes? So as I said, that's how we navigate it. So the Get Lean journey is, I'm ahead of schedule, I'm enjoying it, which is the main thing. I'm enjoying my training again, everything's shaping up nicely. My goal date is June 23rd probably. So I'm like, right, well, dial in for that and get the image that I'm looking for. It's not something I'm planning to post anywhere, but it's something for me personal. And you know, I've still got time for that. So I'm doing well, it's going in the right direction. Again, I repeat myself over and over, but it's this straightforward. You need to manage your carbohydrates. I've been currently doing carb cycling, which I go low carb Monday to Friday, carb up on the weekend. This week was slightly different because I had birthday nights out and things, but I made it part of the plan. I went low carb on the days that I wasn't, and had carbs, enjoyed myself the days that I was out. Protein target, I usually recommend clients get 80 to 100 grams of protein. I'm particularly going for about 150 grams of protein, only because I'm trying to hold on to some more muscle up here for the photo shoot. After the photo shoot, I'll maybe drop my protein, we'll see. I don't need to be big and bulky these days. Fasting, again, I didn't fast on the evening that I was out, but the rest of the time, 6 p.m. fasting, so it gives you a 12-hour feeding window, 12-hour fasting window. It's all been going well. You need some sort of training regime. I've been doing my 4 classes I'm teaching, and I've usually been slotting in 1 extra workout in there as well. You need movement in there as well, so it's cardio. At the moment, I've been doing 3 sweat sessions. I've been using the cross trainer. In a month or so's time, I will be switching to pure steps. And because steps absolutely burn the fat and shred the fat off you. When I'm doing things like cross trainer, it does get you there fast, you get a good sweat on, but the risk of craving carbs is much higher than that. When I increase the steps, dramatically. Your body's in a nice catabolic fat burning state, you're on the move a lot, and it's amazing how the weight falls off you. So if your choice of cardio is steps, then high five to you, and then just look at whatever you're doing and just increase it dramatically, and you will honestly reap the benefits there. So we covered protein, the carbs, the fasting, the trainings in there as well, being fairly consistent, get a good balance between health and happiness, being on plan as much as you can, but plan for the days. If you know you've got a social event, then just say, right, I'm going to be good up to 6 p.m. and that's I'm on the social event, and then just relax. The important thing is you relax and switch off. And then when you get up the next day, you'll naturally want to get back on plan as quickly as possible, and then just put it in the rear view mirror. Just chalk it down to a nice night and give yourself a pat on the back, because all the benefits and habits that you've been putting in place have allowed you to enjoy a night out or a night away or whatever you're doing guilt-free. And it should be guilt-free, and that's the important thing, because if you're feeling guilty afterwards, then that's not a good relationship with your health and wellness journey. So whatever journey that you're on, you need a healthy relationship. It's got to have the word health in it, right? And if you do not have a healthy relationship with the journey, then you won't have a healthy relationship with the outcome. So make sure that when you do take a night off, you enjoy yourself, you put it to one side, and you just crack on afterwards. And it's about what you then do on the weeks that you don't have any things, any social events. You try and make more headway. In the weeks that you do have stuff and you're busy, you make less headway, but it's all progression. All right, and at the moment we have my special offer in the membership. There's a 50+ program. I've taught this one before, I think 2 years ago. It was very popular. You don't have to be over 50 to enjoy the program. But it does come as part of the membership, and it'll be launching in April. Now, at the moment, because it's my birthday week, I've been doing a special offer on my membership with no joining fee. Now, that stops on Thursday, because my birthday's on Wednesday, so after Thursday, it's the 12th of March, is the Thursday. The offer stops, and there will be a joining fee when this course goes out in April. So if you are thinking about doing a program, and then you're thinking, right, well, this 50+ might sound right for me, then get in now, because there's no joining fee. There's just the weekly subscription, and the weekly subscription gives you 4 live classes every week that you can do via recording. You get coaching from myself. We've got access to a community group, and then you get all the programs on my app. So whichever the latest program is, so the next one is going to be 50+, you get that as part of your membership. You do not have to pay extra for it. So it's all part of the membership. So if you are considering it and you're thinking, oh, I quite fancy this 50+, get in now, because after when the 12th of March hit, the no joining fee offer goes, and then it gets quite expensive. So if you are considering it, just head to coachrab.com and you can read all about it. Of course, all the information there is based on the joining fee, but there's a big bit that says no joining fee. Click that, fill out the form, and get yourself on board, and you can be joining in the very workouts that I've been doing to get in shape. There's 4 of them a week, so you can do it too. All right, everybody, have an awesome weekend, and I'll catch up with you all soon. Bye-bye.